Welcome to Chapter 4, Data Management, under the course Mathematics in the Modern World. In today's world, we are surrounded by data from social media statistics, by the number of likes and shares, business reports, to even the number of steps we take each day. Because of this, understanding how properly handle data has become an essential skill. So in this chapter, we are going to learn how data is collected, organized, managed in a systematic way. We will also explain how this process helps us make sense of information and support better decision making in real life situations. So by the end of this discussion, you should be able to understand the importance of data management, apply the basic techniques in handling data effectively. Let's get started. The learning outcomes of this topic is first, identifying the basic concepts, the meaning, the nature, the importance of statistics. We are going to distinguish the different types of data, also the different types or how to use the sampling techniques, explain how data is collected, how to present data, appropriate presentation and collection of data, how to characterize the properties and the uses of the mean, the median, and the mode. Sorry for the typographical error. Also, we are going to have a real the problem solving on how can we compute the mean, the median, the mode of group and ungrouped data. Determine the appropriate measure of central tendency. Diba, we have three measures of central tendency. The mean, the median, and mode. What is the best measure na pwede natin gamitin in a given situation? And describe the range, variance, standard deviation, calculate the variance, standard deviation with the frequency distribution of sample data, and apply the different measures of spread or dispersion of the given set of data. And napakarami pa, also including the skewness and kurtosis. But on this part, we are focusing on the basic concept, the central tendency, and the variance and the standard deviation, as well as the range. Okay? So the latter part of this will be discussed on the next topic. Let's start our discussion. So the first part is the descriptive statistics. At first, let me discuss what is a statistic. What is statistics? So it is statistics is a branch of mathematics that focuses on working with data that involves the five key process. First is the data collection. So in data collection, it is our process on how can we gather information that includes the how to measure, how to analyze accurately yung data, and using reliable standard methods. So there are different methods on how can we collect data. Our goal here is to ensure that the data we gather is correct and useful for research or decision making. Because some of our data na kinokollect natin from during our gathering is not applicable or not important to the study that we are doing. For example, in a business side, if we are going to conduct or if we are going to provide a feasibility study about the marketability of a certain product, there are some data we collected from our what do you call that? Our respondents that is not applicable on our study. For example, if our product is mainly on the in terms of food, syempre mahalaga diyan, for example, the gender. Maybe we could from that data we could conclude that most of the people who want to try our product is male or female. Or in terms of age, ganun din. It is very important. Ano ba yung mga hindi important? Um, Maybe the educational background. So sometimes hindi natin sinasama siya sa survey kasi maybe wala naman siyang kinalaman dun sa one of the factor that could affect how they will avail the product. Okay? So in data collection, we must be very critical on the methods as well as the needed data na kailangan nating kunin. Okay? So the second process is data organization. When we say data organization, it refers to arranging and classifying the collected data so it has become easier to understand and to use. That includes to how are we going to sort the data based on tables, based on category, or based on chart. So again, if we have collected data from our respondents, if we are doing a survey, for example, in terms of age, we can do the bracketing from 10 to 5, 11 to 20, 21 to 25, gaano kadami yung nag-yes dun sa survey mo. Or in terms of monthly family income, for example, from 10,000 to 20,000 or 20,001 to 30,000 para mas madali or mas makita natin yung um, result ng data natin. 'Di ba? So, in summary, yung data organization, it helps us to make a meaningful information. Kasi kapag ang ginawa natin very specific, wala tayong ginawang range or category or table, mas mahihirapan tayo lalong i-understand kung ano yung meron sa data natin. Okay? Another example for data organization, for example, in the test of scores, and they're just written randomly on paper, it will have to interpret if they failed or passed. So maybe we could have a range, for example, for a 50 points passing grade, ilan yung naka 50 pataas, ilan yung naka 50 pababa. So mas madali natin siyang mapag-aralan. Okay? So that is the first two process of, or the two process of statistics, the data collection and the data organization. All right. The next one is the data analysis. So the data analysis, part of the process, it is a process of inspecting, cleansing, transforming, and modeling our data. In simple terms, it means we carefully examining our data, we remove the errors or unnecessary information, organizing it in a usable form, and studying it to discover useful insights. So the main goal of data analysis is finding a meaningful pattern, draw a conclusion, and support decision making. For example, again, if we collect if we collected survey about a customer feedback. So during data analysis, there are some incomplete responses, or there are some, we can group some similar answers. For example, how they find or gano'n nila kagusto yung pagkain natin. So maybe we could to easy analyze our data, magkaroon tayo ng Okay, now let's move on to our data analysis. On data analysis, it is a process of how to inspect, cleanse, or transform, or model our data. In simple terms, we carefully examine our data, we remove errors and unnecessary information regarding and transforming it into usable form. It means we are going to study yung ating data in order for us to discover useful insight. So the main goal of data analysis is how can we find a meaningful pattern, draw conclusions, and support decisions. Again, let's go back to the example of a feasibility study. During market research, we are going to identify at what age mas mabenta yung ating product. So we could draw insights na kung saan yung product pala natin mas mabenta sa mga gantong bracket of age. Or yung product pala natin mas mabenta sa mga babae. So from those data we collected, we will able to understand, magkakaroon tayo ng meaningful patterns. How can we improve the sales of our business? Or for example, on our data, there are some, we could remove or incomplete responses. Yung kumbaga, hindi naman talaga siya applicable doon sa study mo. Yung answer niya is malayo doon sa hinihingi mo talaga. So we could remove that in our data analysis. Okay? So dito papasok din yung calculation natin ng mga averages, ng mga percentage, na kung saan we will discover most customer ba mas prefer tong product na to, or mas prefer tong product na to, or satisfied ba sa product natin or hindi. So that is the data analysis. Nakakapag-draw na kagad tayo doon ng meaningful patterns and draw conclusions. Now, ano yung difference niya into interpretation of this data? In interpretation of data, this process naman give meaning to our analyzed information. From our conclusion, we extract what is the meaning. What does it mean? What can we conclude from this data? So this involves the understanding the significance and implication of results. For example, in a test exams, most students scored below passing mark. So we could interpret maybe the topic was difficult, or maybe what we can do is we could conduct the item analysis na kung saan malalaman natin saan kaya silang problem nagkamali, or most of the students saan ba nagkakamaling problems, saan nagkakamaling topics, saan sila nahihirapan. So we could do that. So how can we analyze the problem? Or in a business data setting, if the data shows na kung saan yung sales naging increase natin after promotion, we could say that our promotion is effective. And the company could use that same strategy in the future. So in summary, data analysis, it helps us the process and examine data, while data interpretation is helps us to understand its meaning and use it to make informed decisions. Now, let's talk about the presentation of data. After we analyze and interpret our data, the next process is the presentation of data. So when we say data presentation or presentation of data, it refers to organizing our information into tables, graph, or charts so that we can easily understand it and draw a logical statistical conclusion. It means that once we saw the data, nung magkaroon pa lang tayo ng glimpse doon sa ating graphs or charts, we could easily understand ano yung gusto sabihin sa atin ng graph na yon. So when data are presented properly, it becomes more visually clear and easier for us to interpret and compare to just looking at the raw numbers. So basically, from our data, we organize it and then we draw the information or the conclusion from the raw data natin. So for example, again, let's go back to in terms of sales in our businesses. So in terms of sales, we could use line graph that could show the sales status of our business on a monthly basis. Makikita natin, nagkakaroon ba tayo ng increasing or decreasing trend over time, or there are months ba na kung saan mataas or may months ba na mababa. So from that picture, we could easily provide conclusions or what will be our decisions for the business. Or for example, in our school, for example, we have a list of students, and then meron tayong mga scores. We could easily place them in our table that allows us to see the exact value and organize per students. But if we are going to compare using a bar graph, pwede rin naman. There will be a list of students on the bar graph, and the bar graph shows their individual scores. So doon makikita natin agad kung ano yung sino yung may highest score at sino may lowest score, and then lagyan natin siya ng line graph. We could easily check also kung sino yung pasado based dun sa line graph natin, or sino yung mas mababa doon sa line graph natin. Okay? We could also use a pie chart. I know that you are familiar with pie chart that could show the proportion. For example, the number of students is 50. 30 got passed, 20 got failed. So dun pa lang sa pie chart, makikita natin na majority of the students pass the exam. So the presentation of data, it communicates information effectively by making it more organized, visual, and easy to analyze. Ano?